Hey guys, so today we're gonna do that skull makeup look for Halloween, and I'm gonna first use a primer to use as a base for the paint, and then I'm gonna take a white eyeliner and just carve out where the eye sockets are gonna be, so that we don't cover that with white paint, for it to be easier to cover it with black. Now I start covering my face with the white paint, but it kind of blends into my skin and I get so irritated. So I use 5 different methods to see if it works, but none of them actually work. And I do cover my face with the white paint, but later on in the video I take it all off and I just restart it. And I use this sponge, but it just didn't help, and then I used the brush, which eventually was the best method with the paint I was using, because the paint was not the best quality, but I mean I had to work with it. And then after that I just covered my whole face. Later I start using that brush, which packs on more detailed, not detailed, but more coverage. But like I said, I erase everything, and then we'll see later in the video. So after that part, my camera stopped recording, but I just covered the sockets black, and then I painted my eyelids with a gold eyeshadow. I think I used a paint pot from Maybelline, and it's a gold one, and then I just went over it with a gold eyeshadow, and then I just blended out the crease into the black with the gold. And then since the paint, the black paint, wasn't that good enough, I went over it with a black shadow to what's it called? Just make it darker and to set it for it to not be slipping away. And it did make the eye socket darker, but I mean it wasn't the best. Next, I'm gonna do my waterline with a black liner for it to be as dark as possible, and then I go over it again trying to make it better, but it just didn't work. So right here I'm taking it off, and I eventually go to the restroom and take it off, and then I restart it with that brush, but now I mix the paint with my moisturizer, and it went on more smoothly. I did do a couple of layers on for it to be more coverage, and I did have a lot of trouble covering my nose because the paint wouldn't stick on. And I think it was because I'm oily, but it was just hard to cover it, and if I covered it, it would just be a mess. And then after that I just get a translucent powder and I set my whole face. And then I get a detailed brush with the black paint, and I start drawing out my nose. And then after that, like after I carved out and I like filled in a little bit, I get the same black shadow and I just set it for it to make it darker and for it to not keep moving. Now my nose is a little bit crooked and I try to fix it, but I just couldn't because it would just make a big mess. But I mean, it's not that noticeable. Next I carve out like my temples with a black liner. I think this is a NYX liner. And then I try to fill them in with the same liner, but it was just like too hard because the pencil, like the tip was just too thin. So I just got the I just got the black eyeshadow and I covered it. After that, I try to like cover part of my forehead, not forehead, but like the outline of my face, and I do cover it with black shadow. And at the end of the video, I do cover it up to my hairline, but right here I just do it like up to there. And then I think I got like a gray shadow and I just blended it out. And then I also carved out my, not cheekbones, my jawline, for it to look like sharper. Next I got like a detailed brush and I just did a line through my lips for the teeth. And then I start drawing like little lines for where like the teeth are, and I was kind of slippery and sliding through the paint because it wasn't really a good canvas to work on, so I was troubling, like my pencil, like my brush would be like slippering around and the lines are very crooked and very ugly. But I mean, I was just like exhausted from like turning on the camera like 5 times. So yeah, there's like better videos on how to do this on the YouTube, but it's not that bad. After that, I try to like carve out the teeth on the bottom and then just like shade it in. After that, I carve out my cheekbone and I do like that little shape for like the jaw line, not jawline, but where like the teeth is holding on to. After that, I start shading in with a gray eyeshadow on the top, but it didn't really like blend that great into it, and I do it on both sides. And then I do shading on and like in the middle with another brush, but that brush didn't really help. so it was horrible to blend out, and it didn't blend out, so I think I just left it like that. And then I did the shading of my sockets for it to make like a 3D effect, but I don't know, I couldn't do it, so it's like really bad. But I just try to blend it out for it to like not look that harsh. And then also on the bottom as well. And then I get like an eyeliner, and I do those like weird under eye like circles, which like I don't know what I'm doing, but I did that. And then I did it on the top. I was just winging it at this part. And then on the top I did like cracks, and then I do them on the bottom as well. Most of the video was sped up because I was going really slow. And then on this part I'm just doing another like shading on the bottom, I think, but I kind of messed up on that, but like just pass through it. Or if you like completely mess up, you can just go over it with some black paint. And then I realized I didn't really like those lines on it, so I just connected them with I think it was like the socket. And then I shaded in the cracks on the bottom as well for them to look like a bit 3D. I mean, I'm not the best at this, but I think it was part of like the paint that didn't cooperate with me. After that, I start working on my neck, and I just do like kind of like rectangles or circular rectangles, if that makes sense, on the bottom, in the middle, for them to be like my spine. And then I carved out my collarbone, which was not the greatest, but I think I was trying to do like my actual bone into the shoulder, but I just like couldn't get it to work. So after this part I was just like tired of it, and I didn't really like make an effort to make him look good, but I just carved out some bones, and then I filled them in with black on the outside, not the inside. With the white, I didn't really fill them in that great, but they didn't look that like horrible. I was just like too tired to go like detailed on it since it was like super late. With the smaller little bones, I did it with my finger instead of the brush, because as you can see in the middle of my neck, that little like ball of like white paint just like dripped down, and I later on fixed it with some black paint, and then that's my finished result. And I didn't apply, I was trying to apply false lashes, but they weren't working out, but I just applied some mascara, but false lashes would do like the trick. So that's it. Thank you for watching.